So, it's been an interesting week for the Division universe, with a lot quietly happening behind the scenes, and probably for good reason, as we've now had a trifecta of negative news surrounding the franchise. And as always, I've got thoughts about all of it. So, let's dive right in. What's going on, everybody? It's LtBuzzLitebeer, and welcome back to the channel. So, some of this you may know about, some of it you may not. It wasn't blasted around within the usual Division game tweets and forum posts, but it has happened nonetheless, and we need to talk about it. Alright, first up, and let's begin this one with some positive news, and the Auntie League went live earlier this week, which involves Jefferson Plaza, DCD headquarters, and Grand Washington Hotel all on hard difficulty, along with Space Admin HQ on challenging. Now, I ran through all of this solo with a true patriot Petrov obliterate chest coyote mask setup, while having some fun and switching back and forth between the Bullet King and Pestilence LMGs, which this setup absolutely destroyed these missions. The last few leagues, we've had one mission that you kind of cut it close to the best time limit, but these 4 missions for this league really should pose you no problems. The last 2 requirements are 500 True Sun headshot kills and 250 Black Tusk disrupted, and neither of these list out elites, so even the basic red bars will count towards your completions. Now, as far as PC stability, because I often see this question in my comment sections, I personally still run this game in DX11, and it just seems to work for me. I only occasionally crash now. It feels like once every few play sessions, but my rig still sounds like it has a jet engine inside of it. But hey, it works, so yeah, that's something. Okay, buckle up, because here we go with the rest of it. By the way, I'm air quoting like a boss with the it. And I don't know, where in the hell do I start with this? I mean, I guess we go with the Year 5 roadmap for the Division 2. It has been stated that Season 1 Broken Wings will launch in June. Now, some have speculated early June, and this one will include more castle rebuilding and the new Descent game mode. I played it on Phase 1 and 2 of the PTS. I posted my thoughts on it with this video. By the way, link can be found in the video description. I don't think we've seen the entire integration into the game, as we were just playing it on the PTS, but from what I saw, I don't see this mode lasting all that long. I mean, it is better than Summit, and I absolutely adore the player power fantasy it allows you to experience, but all the extra items are missing, you know, those items to keep players interested for the long term. I don't know, maybe I'm way off here though. Leave me your feedback if you got to experience Descent during the PTS. And now on to Heartland, and this one is just weird. During the latest Ubisoft investors call, the presentation included this slide, and this is a fiscal year 2024 target for launches, which include Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Rainbow Six Mobile, Skull and Bones, I don't know about that one, The Crew Motorfest, The Division Resurgence, X-Defiant, and another large game, which some publications have speculated is the new Star Wars game, of which I'm doubtful of that. Now, what is missing from this 23-24 lineup is the Division Heartland. Now, I listened to the entire audio recording. They mentioned Heartland a few times, how it was expecting another closed beta test later this year, but that was about it. This obvious omission from the financial report has led many to speculate that Heartland has again been delayed, this time up until 24-25. And yeah, that's entirely possible, although I don't know why Ubisoft would sit on this game for so long. There's also some other theories that Ubi just wants to remove it from the spotlight so they can do whatever they want with it, when they want, you know, kind of surprise, here it is, early access type stuff. I honestly don't know, but seeing that Heartland was so obviously missing from the report really rubbed some Division faithful the wrong way, and as information becomes available on this one, I will post to the channel. Also, if you have the time and you want to view it all for yourself, I will include a link to the latest Ubisoft investors call in the video description, and it includes both a slideshow and a full audio recording. Thinking back on it, we probably should have named this episode The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because we're up to the ugly. And let's finish off with these 2 bits of disastrous info surrounding number 2. First is this latest with the known issues board, and when it was posted earlier this week that the Division 2 team didn't have the bandwidth to fix the vanity appearance mods needing to be constantly re-equipped, or the fact that agents can't now share gear or skill mods, it obviously pissed off a bunch of people. The appearance mods is just a rough issue. You equip the look you want through transmog and it will constantly unequip, and you have to re-equip it anytime you log back into the game or switch out gear, which is crazy annoying. Not being able to share gear or skill mods is just insane. We can share other items, just not the mods, which when I get them, I love to drop them on the ground to give players those last little bits to max out their builds. Well, as I said, players started dropping the negative feedback to this, hey, we're not going to fix these items messaging, and now the known issues board includes a backlog tab, which to me sounds like an area that known issues go to die. They go to timeout, never to be fixed because they just aren't a priority. I've seen your comments. If it involves the possibility of massive losing money for premium rewards tracks or players getting too much gear or XP too fast, then hell yeah, it becomes a priority and Massive fixes it within a week's time. I mean, damn, we're still waiting for the promised Dr. Home rifle mass rewards. I think it was posted somewhere around Christmas of last year, but I've been reading your messages and I do understand those feelings of anger being posted all over social media. And speaking of anger, topic number 2 for the Division 2, and it has to be this unadvertised, silent mass ban wave that just rolled through the community, and it looks to be targeted at the PvP community. And for this one, DJ Dizzle, a longtime friend of mine from the Division community, was kind enough to send me his latest Division 2 artwork. First off was the in-game message that he was banned, and keep in mind that doesn't say suspended. It doesn't show for how many days, that just says banned. End of story. Next is his email that I received his permission to show on screen, and this thing is as vague can be. There's no reason, there's no way to get clarification, there's no recourse for fighting it, just a couple of links to the COC and the terms of use. Now, I spoke with Dizzle this morning. He has confirmed to me that he 1,000,000% does not use cheats or hacks while engaging in PvP. So, like me, he's on PC, that means he's not using any third-party software. And while he does admit to acting foolish when he does go on the mic in the Dark Zone, he doesn't drop racial slurs or act in a demeaning manner towards other players. I've personally watched him stream Dark Zone PvP many times, and Dizzle will be the first to admit that he acts like a clown when he plays Division 2, but it is nothing that I would think would warrant a permanent ban. I've personally seen speed hacking players sprinting around like cheetahs, players flying over actual rooftops in the Dark Zone. I've been screamed at on open mic, calling me everything from the N-word to a player telling me that he was going to F my mother and that his dick was going to give my mother cancer. What Dizzle does is nowhere in the same ballpark as that stuff I just mentioned. Acting like a clown and talking in a funny accent is silly. It's not toxic. Anyways, Dizzle's, and I would guess anyone else that's received this ban's biggest complaint with it, is that it doesn't spell out exactly why these players were banned. There's no list, there's no explanation, there's no ability to dispute it, just, hey you, here's your ban, now deal with it. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be alone out here speaking up against this kind of stuff. And if so, hey, I'm okay with it, as I've gone in alone against many previous items, but this is just straight up wrong on so many levels. If these players, and I'm beginning to see it was actually quite a few of them, were indeed a problem and deserved these bans, at least have the decency to spell out why in the hell they were banned. Hey, on this day, you acted in this manner and we received 15 reports to your behavior. I mean, at least then players like Dizzle could have some inkling as to why they got put in timeout. But coming through with a shadow ban, and that's what we need to call it because that's what it is, that's not the way to do this. If it is Ubisoft, then hey, Ubisoft, you're dead wrong. If this is Massive, then you get that same message. You're dead wrong. At the very least, let these players know what their offenses are and give them the opportunity to actually try to defend themselves. It all feels very slimy and underhanded to me, and hopefully you understand what I'm saying there. These players got no information. They can't defend themselves. They have no ability to understand how to improve. I don't know. I'm not going to keep going after this one. You get the idea, but it makes me sick to my stomach. Do the right thing here, Massive. If they were wrong, they are wrong. But at least tell them what they did to deserve a permanent vacation. As always, I look forward to reading your feedback in the comments section below, especially about this last little issue I discussed there of the Shadowbans. If you happen to like the video, maybe consider hitting subscribe, and while you're at it, ring the notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. If you could take a few seconds more to rate and or share this video, that would also be greatly appreciated. Remember, you can find and follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and of course at my open community Discord server, links to all of which can be found in the video description and pinned comments below. Shout out to the over 121,000 of you out there that have taken the leap and hit subscribe. And as always, a special thanks goes out to my patrons over on Patreon. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.